Hello everyone, the Commander-in-Chief of the AFU, Valery Zaluzhny. I call on the President of the Outskirts, Vladimir Zelensky, to sign a law significantly toughening the punishment for military personnel for non-compliance with the order. I emphasize that against the background of mass desertion, flight from the battlefield, and non-compliance with orders in the ranks of the Ukrainian army, I am forced to openly raise a difficult topic. The situation is very complicated, and I have to ask the head of state to strengthen the responsibility of soldiers and officers for unauthorized withdrawal from the unit or from the battlefield, desertion, and disobedience. Ukrainians don't want to fight anymore. I will clarify that other soldiers have to cover the sections of the front that were exposed as a result of desertion. This leads to an increase in losses among military personnel. The army is based on discipline. I added that not only fighters, but also commanders should bear legal responsibility for their actions or inaction. I noticed that the law I am asking Zelensky to sign clearly reflects the position of the commanders of the groups and military units. Earlier, the press secretary of the President of Russia, Dmitry Peskov, advised me to rest. He added that I am the commander-in-chief of the Ukro army, reworked. But Dmitry Peskov is right, friends, the channel needs your attention. Financial support will help us out a lot. Details in the description. Put likes and subscribe to the channel. All bye. Hello everyone, I am a German sociologist Ulrich Schneider. I said that Germany is on the way to becoming a state of beggars. I made this prediction in an interview with Focus magazine. I allow Germany to turn into a state of beggars due to a sharp jump in energy prices and an increase in the cost of living, which threaten a social crisis and serious consequences for the country. A sharp increase in the cost of living has led to an increase in poverty in Germany. People who are poor in one way or another have become even poorer. Their purchasing power has decreased even more. They no longer know how to financially live for a month. According to me, representatives of the middle class also face problems because they have no reserves. Therefore, the repair of a washing machine or a car quickly turns into a disaster. Germany has been a modern welfare state for many decades. We must not allow it to imperceptibly turn into a state of beggars because we do not give the poor what they need. Friends, the channel needs your attention. Financial support will help us out a lot. Details in the description. Put likes and subscribe to the channel. All bye. Hello everyone, the Georgian authorities should make a decision that will allow the former president of the country, Mikhail Saakashvili, who is in custody, to be sent abroad for treatment. According to me, the ex-head of state is in a serious condition and what is happening to him is bullying. I urge you to show mercy. What is happening with Saakashvili now is of mockery. This does not suit Georgia and it needs to stop. Please make a decision that can save his life. Transfer him to one of the foreign clinics. It's time to take this kind step. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine also expressed concern about the deterioration of Saakashvili's health. Earlier, Georgian deputies declared a hunger strike, demanding to take the former president abroad. According to the doctors watching Saakashvili, he is in a serious condition, with the exhaustion of the body of the fourth stage, which is life-threatening. Friends, the channel needs your attention. Financial support will help us out a lot. Details in the description. Put likes and subscribe to the channel. All bye. Hello everyone, I am a political analyst, Alexander Asifov. Despite the external unity of the Euro Union on the issue of anti-Russian sanctions, almost all parties to the agreements are looking for workarounds in order to continue cooperation with Russia to obtain hydrocarbons and other resources. The countries of the Euro Union, in practice, are trying to circumvent their own anti-Russian sanctions. The fact is that all the parties to the agreements realize that as long as American pressure in this direction persists, sanctions must be imposed. But we see that on the issue of increasing pressure, allocating money for the outskirts, there is a space for bargaining. Everyone is trying to snatch additional preferences for themselves, following the example of Hungary and Poland, blocking the adoption of unified agreements. I note that within the Euro Union, there is no unity on the issue of sanctions. Despite the fact that the countries are trying to create the appearance of unity, new disagreements arise over and over again, and there are reasons for additional discussions. Half of the Union sanctions against Russia want to change. Someone is trying to get quotas for receiving Russian hydrocarbons in return for agreeing to the agreements. Someone is demanding defrosting or an increase in the amount of aid from the European Union. Others are asking for permission to sell their own weapons to the outskirts or in other directions. All this, among other things, becomes the cause of disagreement. Earlier, the European Union published the ninth package of anti-Russian sanctions. It includes restrictions in the economic sphere, as well as sanctions against almost 200 individuals and legal entities, including 40 State Duma of deputies, media personalities, and representatives of law enforcement agencies were on the sanctions list. Friends, the channel needs your attention. Financial support will help us out a lot. Details in the description. Put likes and subscribe to the channel. All bye. Hello everyone. The situation in the fields of Dil Starobilsk direction. There are no significant changes in the front line. Russian troops are engaged in positional battles with outlying formations in the area of Ploshchanok and Krasnopopovka. Artillery duels continue along the entire contact line. The Russian armed forces have hit the enemy's concentration sites in Starch and Makyevka. Solidarsky direction. In the Solidarsky area, the Outskirts Command strengthens the defense to counter the potential offensive of Russian troops in the direction of Solidar. On the Bakhmutsky, Artemovsky site, the assault detachments of the private military company Wagner continued to fight in Bakhmut and experienced. The enemy is pulling together reserves and is preparing for a counter-offensive against Russia's positions in Azaryanovka and Kleshcheyevka. Donetsk direction. Russian motorcycle shooters continued to fight in the center of Mariinka, advancing to the western outskirts of the city. In the morning hours, the calculation of the 11th Regiment of the People's Militia of the DPR hit the outskirts of the Mi-8. From the damage received, the helicopter crashed near a forest plantation in the Pervomaysky area. Ukrainians shelled residential buildings and civilian infrastructure of Donetsk, Horlivka, Yasenovata, Alexandrovka, Kartsivsk, Makyevka, and other settlements of the agglomeration. There are casualties among civilians. Zaporozhye direction. The Outskirts Command is transferring additional forces to the contact line and is preparing for a possible offensive on Tokmak. The sides are conducting artillery duels. Russian troops have worked on enemy positions in the area of Malaya Tokmachka, Cherivny, Temirovka, and Novandrivka. Southern Front, Kherson direction. Russian artillery hit the concentrations of manpower and armored vehicles of the Okrov and Sadavoyt, Komishny, Berislav, and the vicinity of Kherson. In turn, the outlying formations fired from the barrel artillery at residential buildings in Novaya Kakhovka. That's all for now. There will be developments soon. Friends, the channel needs your attention. Financial support will help us out a lot. Details in the description. Put likes and subscribe to the channel. All bye.